Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting. This is a weekly look at news, information, and the people in and around Pike County. For over 4 decades, Pike County has had the dedication of Dr. Ernesto Fenol serving the greater community. Today, Dr. Fenol is retired from daily practice, but he is still an active and integral part of this community. Dr. Fenol, welcome. Doctor, we've known each other since the late 1980s. You got here a little before I did, but your journey started long before Pike County.
Yes.
Take us back to the beginning and just kind of walk us through.
Sure.
From childhood.
Yeah.
To now.
Sure. So I was born in the Philippines. My father was with the Philippine Army and the U.S. Army as a dentist. And he was given assignment to be the dentist for an engineering battalion that would set up communications with Australia for the MacArthur landing. So I was born in a Del Monte plantation owned by an American company.
And this is what year is this?
1946.
Okay.
So after the war ended, we transferred to Manila, Philippines, because my mom said that's where the schools are and the lifestyle is a little bit better. So we moved to a city called Manila. And in Manila, that's where I grew up and studied my elementary school, my high school, my pre-med, my med school. And part of my training, I went to a Catholic university, so I'm well indoctrinated, I think. And
so you had grade school starting in the early 1950s.
yes,
And that took you. How was school in 1950s in Manila different from what we understand here today?
the Americans gave us the structure for education, and therefore they gave us the kindergarten, grade 1 to 6, or 7 sometimes, and then the format of high school for 4 years. And we copied practically everything from the American system. And surprisingly, our mode of instructions and communication was in English.
Really?
So, yeah, didn't have much trouble with that. So
this was a pretty easy progression.
I would think so, because 90% of our school communications were in English. All my schooling in pre-med, med school, and textbooks, and lectures.
English,
yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So you would have graduated high school mid-1960s?
Correct, yes.
And then which university did you start out with?
I went to a Dominican university. They were Dominican friars who set up the University of St. Thomas Aquinas, which was established in 1611. And went there to school for 13 years.
Wow.
So it's a very good experience.
So 13 years in medical school.
I had 4 years of pre-med,
Okay.
5 years of med school, and before that, the 4 years of high school.
Okay.
And trained a year and a half at their hospital in the Philippines, and then moved to Canada.
So that brings you, your move to Canada was late 1970s?
Yes, 1973. 1973.
Early 70s.
Yes.
How long were you in Canada and what did you do there?
When we transferred to Canada, it was martial law in the Philippines, and our family decided to go to another part of the world. And Canada was welcoming immigrants at that time because they only had a 17 million population with a land mass bigger than the US, so they were welcoming immigrants. And I did part of my training there and my profession for about 6 years. And then while in Canada, I was recruited by a hospital in Warwick County, Boonville. And from then on, I guess...
Which hospital was that in
the Warwick County Hospital.
Okay. Yeah.
A nun wrote a letter to me to ask me to consider transferring. Do you remember Dr. Dan Gannon, who was in Winslow at the time?
No,
oh, you probably
that was
don't
a
know.
little before my time.
Yeah,
I've heard of him, but I don't think we
Yeah.
crossed.
That was Rose's uncle who said, "Come on over here and help me out." And so I said, well, we really wanted to go back to the Philippines to practice because my wife and her parents had a small hospital there. But I think God had other plans for me.
We never know what those are going to be, do we?
Right. Surprisingly, I got my medical license in the U.S. on the feast day of Saints Peter and Paul, June 29th. I got the card. It says medical license of Indiana.
And which year is that?
1978.
That was my 13th birthday, June 29th.
You're giving out your age now.
That's all right.
Right. I think there was a call to me to be a member of that church. And there are just so many things that connected that I think the destiny I had was the hand of God moving me and Rose and my family in directions that was His will. So that's how I take it.
If we get out of His way, sometimes it goes easier for us, doesn't it?
Yes.
Not that we don't have hurdles to jump.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of hurdles, yeah. But if I look back in the half a century I've been in the Western world, I always saw His hand moving in a yes or no or not now manner, I think. So it's been a beautiful experience.
Great.
Yeah, wonderful.
So when Dr. Dan Gannon had you come to Warwick Hospital, were you at Warwick Hospital? Were you in Winslow? Were you in Petersburg?
I was in both. I would work in the hospital for the morning session and in Winslow in the afternoon. But then in Petersburg, if you remember, maybe Dr. Olmsted had passed on, and there was a medical building here with a home that was vacant for at least a 2-year period of time.
It was off of Walnut Street, maybe 6th.
Yeah, yes, 110
Between
South.
Walnut and
Yes.
Main Street,
Yeah. So
and that's where you raised the family
for 7 years, yeah. And then we built a house in Park Lane and moved away from that medical building house.
where you were always at work.
Yes, I became the emergency room of the
Right.
city because
We knew where to find you.
Yes. They would knock on my door, and 11 o'clock in the evening, somebody had to be sewed up or was having some trouble. Yeah, it's amazing.
Everything went smooth as you were. Were there any immigration issues as you're settling into Pike County?
Oh, yes. The recruiter, who is a nun, said, you must come here and transfer immediately because we need you badly. And I guess she wasn't sure of the laws of the immigration at that time. And from then on, it was a very long journey of working to get my papers straightened out. And it's a mind-boggling experience because I got to talk, meet, and connect with many politicians.
I was getting ready to say, I think the church and maybe some political maneuvering with the church through the existing administration helped secure and express that you are needed here.
Absolutely. The highest official who gave me a phone call was Vice President Dan Quayle.
Wow.
And he was in Colorado skiing, and I get a phone call. He says, "This is Vice President Quayle. I heard you're having some problems, and I'll make sure that we take care of it."
So this is maybe 1988, 89?
When he was
90?
VP of Reagan?
Okay. He was vice president for Bush, who came in 89.
Bush, okay.
Reagan was 81 through 88.
I see. Yeah. But somewhere along the line, he gave a call.
His vice president was George Bush, the first.
Oh, okay.
George Bush.
Okay.
So was it maybe Bush that called you?
No, it was
Quayle?
Yeah.
Okay.
He introduced himself.
Okay.
And I said, I am stunned by this. Like, this is too high. And many other connections that is unbelievable and strange and divinely ordained, I think, providential.
Very much.
Yeah, like the Catholic Church went to also know about my case. The regent of Notre Dame, Bishop Hesburgh, also got into the mix. My first cousin, who was my inspiration to become a doctor, his name is Dr. Nicodemus, was the anesthesiologist for Reagan. So we would talk, and I would visit him. And he would say, "I'll see what I can do." You know,
That had to help.
mind-blowing, yeah. Mind-boggling.
Switching gears a little bit. So
Sure.
as you come into Petersburg,
Yes.
you had Dr. Olmsted had passed.
Yes.
You had Dr. Hall. And you had Dr. Albert.
Yes.
And they were community people as well.
Yes.
And I'm sure they were welcoming a young physician to help in the community.
Well, let me put it this way. I think that they had some concerns, which is natural, you know, that I'm not a American-born citizen of the United States. Plus, maybe they felt like the share of the pie may become unequal. But they were polite. I would think like I extended my outreach to them, and they extended their outreach to me, and we got along okay, I think.
Great. Well, you know, we've got so many little fingers to explore here, but
Yes.
You and I had a sidebar conversation earlier. We've had some very successful immigrants here recently in the last 25 years.
Right.
Gee, you were on the forefront of all that, and you brought your family, your wife, your career.
Yes.
And you've got kids, grandkids. You've still got grandkids in the school corporation. You've become Pike County.
I would think I deeply inserted my life into this community with the purpose of sharing my talents and my service and my sacrifice. And the church I belong to, which is Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church, became a very big fortress for me to hang on to what I have to do. And I also became the health officer of Pike County for 17 years, which was my way of giving back to the community that supported me. Yeah.
You've backed off of that for now, haven't you? Or
Say that again.
Are you still the health officer?
No. After 17 years, it was time to.
That season had changed.
Yes. But I did my best, and I think I did some good. And I started writing for our local paper to share my thoughts, my experience, and whatever value it will bring to the community.
It falls on the Christian page.
Correct.
And
yes.
It seems like you always close with a Christian message, and you say, "Be kind."
Yes.
And
be patient,
good.
be good, be forgiving, be loving, because that's the divine commandment. I think. Hopefully, it changes a lot of hearts and minds in the right direction.
We all need our hearts moldable.
Yes.
Moldable, so
Yes,
we're not
yes.
hardened
Yes.
like
Correct.
we read about in the Bible.
Right.
You are so you practiced 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Correct.
When did you retire?
2018. Yeah.
So that's quite a career.
It's been a blessing, and the day I retired, Mayor R.C. Klipsch declared it as the Fenol Day, Dr. Fenol Day. Like, whoa, this is great. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, yes.
Well deserving.
Hopefully, yeah. Did my best.
Since you came here to the States in the 1970s, how is our health changing as a people? Is that's a hard one to answer, but I've had Chris Young from EMS on here, and we've discussed that, and we're genuinely larger. We're bigger. Nick Henson was on here last week, our coroner.
Right.
There's just more to deal with in a human body.
Yes.
You've always been very healthy, health conscious.
Try to be. Yeah.
You promote good health.
I have to be a good example.
That's your career.
Yes.
Do you see that changing? Are we starting to get back to better health? Where do we need to be on this?
I think in the early years of my practice here in the United States, it was simpler, and people were unfortunately beset with old thinking, and I had to move on to bringing new technology, new thought processes, new ideas. I think overall it went through phases of simplicity to complexity, and now to confusion because of all the issues of what we are afflicted with and how the insurances deal with healthcare. Yeah.
Wow.
Big factor. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yes, it is very huge. Yeah.
Healthcare, insurance,
very complex now. Yeah.
And
very
pharmaceuticals.
Complex. Yes. It's very challenging and very complex.
And
then you put into the mix the complexity of the medical records now. Everything is computerized. In fact, a lot of older doctors gave up their practice. They couldn't stand the complexity of the technology. Yeah. Fortunately, God gave me the savviness to accomplish what the demands of the computer systems are. And I made it okay. Yeah.
It's always changing, though, isn't
yes,
it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I remember, I used to do this type of interview years ago under the same name of WFPC, and I was interviewing Judge Nixon one time, and he told me, he said, when I was starting in business, he said everyone wanted an old attorney who knew all the tricks.
And spoke in a simple language too.
Yeah, and a new doctor who had all the latest training, but an old doctor who had the experience to.
Yes, experience does make a difference. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Today, and your partner for 50 plus years, Rose, passed this year.
May 9th. Yeah.
How? But you are still active. You're out in the community.
Trying to.
You attend things with your grandchildren,
Right.
your children.
Yes.
Your articles for the newspaper. You're still busy. Tell us how your days are now.
So having been married to Rose for 52 years, I miss her dearly. Now we have 4 kids and 11 grandkids who watch over me and keep me company. And my day starts like a morning devotion that's about an hour to an hour and a half. And then I plan about 1 or 2 major activities for the day, whether it's connected with community or church, especially church, I think.
When did your walk with Christ begin? Early age?
I think as a toddler, you have a concept of divinity a certain way, but it became more serious when I went to the Catholic University of St. Thomas Aquinas. And it became deeper and deeper because our school had churches and chapels inside the campus. And after each day that would end, I would visit one of the chapel or churches. Never missed a day that passed without me going to say thank you and ask for help. So I think my journey of faith has deepened and deepened. And I thought I knew it all, but I began to discover you're just knowing 10% of the mystery.
We are minute compared to him.
Yes. In fact, I begin to think when we have Bible studies and services, I thought I would scratch my head and say, I didn't know that. I thought I knew everything. No, the mystery and magnanimity of our God is so mind-blowing and eternal and forever.
Yeah, we can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
And we just trust that He's got us. He's got us.
Yes.
We need to back out and quit being so hard-headed sometimes. That's my problem.
Well, I'll pray for you.
Tell us about your newspaper article that you write. You have fun doing that? And it's just kind of reflections and kind of a daily update on what you're doing.
So I've been doing this for 18 years now.
How many?
18 years of
18.
Writing articles for our local paper. It's well accepted, I think. Mm-hmm. Before I start, I pray to the Holy Spirit to guide me on what topic to write. I think it's a gift. I don't struggle with it. It's a joy for me to do. And I'm sometimes embarrassed. I go to the grocery store or somewhere and says, "Hey, I like your article. Keep on, keep on." Yeah, so.
Well, this puts a face and a voice to those of you those out here who only know you through that article.
Possibly. Yeah. Yes, you're right. And it became a funny thing in my mind when people would say, "Hey, I go to town to buy the paper just to read your article." And some of them say, "I clipped your article and I put it in a book." And then I had a pause when Rose got very sick, my wife, probably 6 months without writing. And they started complaining, like, what's happening? You quit.
You were missed.
Yeah, I think so.
But you were preoccupied.
Yeah, I was very busy with taking care of Rose, yeah. The juice was not there at all.
Right.
Yeah.
You had an off season for a while.
Yes. So I restarted, and I think it's going good, I think.
Thanks for watching WFPC Podcasting. Let's take a quick 60 seconds to hear from our episode sponsors.
WFPC Podcasting is sponsored in part by Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, located right here in Pike County on State Road 64, just west of the Arthur Junction near the new Pike County EMS building. Besides excavating and dirt work, Hathaway Excavating adds a rock yard to their bundle of services, along with all kinds of dirt work, septic cleaning, septic installs, and always local friendly service. Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, 812-582-2646. Recently, the real estate market has been unpredictable. But at Harris Real Estate, we still have clients looking for homes and properties. Let us help you sell your home and or property and or find your next one. We're local. We know the business. We know the community. Harris Real Estate has listed and sold hundreds of properties right here. Harris Real Estate, 812-380-1065. And when you wash your car or vehicle on a regular basis, there are many advantages. You're easier to see, you preserve the life of your vehicle, help maintain its value, protect its paint, prevent corrosion, and it just looks better. It only takes 6 quarters or your credit card to get it started. Stop by Petersburg Car Wash today. Petersburg Car Wash, home of the springtime yellow Mustang. 401 South 9th Street, Petersburg. Thanks to you, our audience, WFPC Podcasting is growing. Since the first episode was launched May 28th, 80,000 views, including full episodes and social media views, have come in, and it's growing. People are coming back and watching the original programs for the first time. We appreciate you. If you have a business or product that you would like to advertise, and if we're a good fit for each other, contact us, 812-354-2006. Thanks again for watching. Where do you see things developing down the road? What are you just going
for who?
For you?
Oh, for me. I think that my preoccupation is preparing for the final and last journey. So I've been busy tuning up my will, my trust, and my specific instructions to my children, what they should do in case I go cross over to the other path. So
we hope that's no time soon, but we never know, do we?
No, we never know. It's up to God and up to His providence. I always ask, like, God, please give me a few more years. Like, I'm enjoying my journey right now.
And you're healthy? You stay fit?
I have some health issues, just like everybody, but it's under good control, I think.
Your diet. What is your what, having the history, the background that you have, what diet do you recommend to us that we should stay focused on?
That's funny you ask. I always hear the seafood diet. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Everything you see, you eat.
Yes.
It's a joke, but I think you always kind of figure out, in my mind, like, what did God design for us to take? And nature's produce is the very, very best, but the big food firms became smart and added a lot of things, modified a lot of things, genetically engineered a lot of things. And I begin to think to myself, I don't think that's what God really wants, So it's very, very hard to fight big corporations. And I always say, let's go back to common sense, moderation, researching on why some people live longer, what nations have, what they call the blue zones, where people live to their 80s, 90s, and 100s. What do they do that's right? So,
and are you figuring that out? We were talking about how media has changed over the years, and one of the fellows I've heard on some podcasts is a fellow named Jordan Rubin, who has in fact I've seen him speak in person, but he's created the Biblio diet.
Oh yeah.
Which just kind of takes you back to what you're talking about, what God intended for us to eat. Me personally, give me a bag of flaming hot Doritos, it's gone.
Okay.
Before you can get your hand in there.
Yeah.
So, but that's not what God intended for us to eat, is it?
Yeah. I think so. Before I eat anything that's packaged, I always flip the container and read, what do these things contain? And sometimes I'm shocked because of the many ingredients pushed into it. And I don't think our body really is designed to take them. So I think nature that gives us the produce, the vegetables, the fish, the meat, hopefully will remain unadulterated and not bioengineered and infused with additives.
To taste better.
Yeah. So it can sell more, yeah.
And they're concerned about their bottom line, making more money. They're not concerned about our health. They're concerned about making more money.
Of course. Yeah.
And then they have to get more medicine for that.
Then you get into the mix, the big farms.
Right.
And so I think moderation is important. Biblical notations are important. And I do believe that
the food that's less messed with,
the better. Yeah. So I guess
I was on the phone earlier today with a friend who is a farmer in actually across the county line, but he this regenerative farming. They've been working on that, where you let the animals take care of the property for you, and then you farm it, and then you move them over a little bit to get natural nature back into the soil.
Right.
And that's interesting concept.
It is, yeah. So
what else do we need to talk about today? We've got the health crisis solved. Bobby Kennedy would be pleased with us.
Let's not talk politics here, but it's okay. I think my biggest concern is the ideological war taking place. Conservatives versus progressives, issues of maybe I gotta be careful, the gender identity, the crisis of political anger, the crisis of
one of our big health issues is the TDS syndrome.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh, I see.
And when I moved here, this was a predominantly Democrat county.
Are we venturing here on dangerous grounds now?
I think that they always say you shouldn't talk politics or religion if you can't talk about Jesus and politics.
Right.
That's how.
Right.
Those are two important. Jesus being the most important, but those are important topics to discuss. We don't play on separating. But back then, I was very much a minority here.
What do you mean by that?
I was a minority
in what sense?
In politics. There were so many more Democrats here than Republicans.
Yes, I know that.
And I remember telling my dad, I said, but our Democrats are much more conservative than your Republicans.
Oh.
And he said, well, that's good. But today, and so I've had a career of kidding people about politics. Today it's much more offensive.
Yeah.
But we're all trying, and it takes two parties. You need two parties
Absolutely.
to keep the other in balance.
Yeah.
And I've been friends with both sides my entire life.
Yeah.
And we need that. It's okay to have different opinions.
Right.
Don't be offended by it.
Right.
But today it's certainly
it's a turmoil that is unnerving and hurts all of us. Yeah. And as you said, you mentioned Jesus Christ. So whenever I have an issue that is kind of confusing, I would always go back to the biblical.
There you go.
What did Jesus say about this?
There you go.
You have to love one another, forgive one another, care for one another, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, visit the ones in prison. Do not harbor grudges, forgive one another. Mm-hmm. And I think if we do these things, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
He didn't say if you are opposed to the idea of another, kill them. No, never did. Forgive them. Even if they are your enemies, love them. Isn't it that's the message here?
That's the message.
Yeah, I think.
I was like you. I always knew Jesus, but
good.
I've not been as focused as I should have been, and it's that last few years. It's that daily reading that Bible every day and keep His Word in front of you.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to do what's right in His eyes.
Correct. It's the path to peace and harmony and less destruction of our souls and our beings, I mean, you can see it like, how do these institutions like monasteries, seminaries, the church that could survive 2,000 years, was it plagued with hatred or mistreatment or maltreatment? No. It was infused with the virtues of kindness, forgiveness, loving, patience, and all the good things that were requested of us to do and follow.
But there have been enemies to that church.
There always have been, yeah. The evil world out there.
It's out there.
Yeah, it is. So we as Christians are encouraged and admonished to be the light of the world and the salt of the earth. And if we neglect that, we will be embroiled in a toxic environment that will kill our souls and our bodies,
Is that where we are today as a nation, as a world?
I have lived in 3 countries already. Like
Philippines,
Canada,
Canada.
and USA. What astonished me in this country is the preponderance of virtues, of fairness and justice and kindness. But the atmosphere has changed. Like, man, what's going on? Like,
My dad...
shootings and killings and mass murders. Like, I'm embarrassed because my sister who lives in Canada says, what's going on in your country? Every 3rd or 4th day, somebody shoots somebody. Like, I know, sister, I can't answer that, like, unfortunately.
My dad told me many years ago, he said, Roe versus Wade is not just about killing babies, as horrible as that is.
Right.
He said what has separated our civilization from the rest of the world
Right.
is how we care about human life.
Right. Right.
And he said, as you start to chip away at that,
Yeah.
he said that means that someday, he told me, he said, my life is going to be determined, if it's necessary, by some bureaucrat.
It can be.
And that was, gave me something to think about. So.
Absolutely. Very good words. Yeah. Yeah. So my hope for this nation is it will follow the principles of what God had designed, the 10 commandments of the church. And I think that civilizations and kingdoms and empires that destroyed itself was because of savagery, because of lack of compassion, and this preoccupation with killing, cheating, or corruption. Like, we can't survive like in an atmosphere like that, I think.
And it all starts at the kitchen table. It all starts at home.
Yes.
And when that's what's in our hearts, that will carry out to the community, to the schools,
Right.
to politics.
Yes. So when Mother Teresa of Calcutta said, do you want to have peace in your heart? Go home and tend to your family. Love them. Care for them. That's the very basic structure and cell of society. Because if we don't, we're headed for big trouble. Yeah. I think there's truth to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wise words.
I think so.
How are your kids? How are the grandkids?
I have 4 children, 1 son and 3 daughters.
Lawrence, I haven't seen Lawrence for several years.
He lives in Indianapolis. Another daughter lives here in town, of course. Another one in Logoti, another one in Evansville. And they're doing well, I think. They have kept their faith alive. They work. They take care of their kids. And they are very faithful in their obligations for Sunday church attendance. So it gives me a great relief that they're traveling the right path, because if they deviate away from it, it can lead to destruction, That's my opinion. So I'm proud of them. They're very, very disciplined and centered on doing what is good and what is right. Sometimes I have to remind them. Sometimes
we all need that.
Yeah. anyway, that's my thinking and my thoughts.
Well, Doctor, we so appreciate you coming on here today. Anything else we need to discuss?
Oh, we've talked a lot of things already.
We have. Didn't know where it was all going, but
appreciate your doing this. This is
thank you.
like you never know what seed you have planted that may grow like a mustard seed that spreads all over and gives direction and comfort to many who will see this program.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, I shouldn't forget
the guy behind the
guy
camera.
behind the camera.
He's a blessing as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And he's got a new baby, and a beautiful wife, and a beautiful 2-year-old.
Yes. I see them in church, and they're like, I bet you had 2 hours of preparation to get to the church, and you have 4 bags that you carry.
I know, yeah.
And that the 1 hour of service was backed by 3 to 4 hours of preparation, sacrifice.
The 11 a.m. Mass on Sundays really helps. It's a great time
That's
for
right.
families.
Absolutely.
You plan for the 9 o'clock, but you make it by the 11.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Starts preparing at 9 and ready for 11. I know. I raised 4 kids. I know how it is.
I always say that I live with 3 teenage girls,
Ooh.
a 15-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 52-year-old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a joke.
I know that.
My jokes aren't often
That's all right.
caught.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Doctor, we appreciate your service to this community. You are quite a blessing for us. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. I always said to myself, I never forgot this quote I got in high school. Lord, I'm going to travel this journey only one time, and therefore I should make the best of it and be a good salt of the earth and light of the world on the darkness. So I think I did a pretty decent job doing it. Yeah.
you're still doing well. You've still got more miles to go.
It's up to the boss upstairs.
That's right.
Yeah, it's very good.
Thank you.
This country has given me many blessings, as well as my old country that had a strong faith.
Immigration. You said you didn't want to talk politics.
Sure.
Do we venture into immigration? We were speaking earlier. Wow, two of our most successful restaurants
Right.
are immigrants that have been widely accepted by this community.
Right.
And I think you were at the forefront of all of that.
Well, do you have another hour to discuss?
Keep talking.
I think the United States has drawn a lot of immigrants because of what they had seen, like it's peace and order and prosperity. But then people who flock in here without the necessary papers or motive
Or
is destroying the system. Yeah.
Right, bringing fenol in,
Oh, my
bring
gosh.
things that
Right.
we should all be vetted.
Oh, yeah.
We should all. So
Comply with the requirements in the law, and we welcome immigrants if they're well vetted
you bet.
and they are
Of course we did.
prepared to participate in the building of a nation
Of course.
and not to destroy it.
That's what's built the nation.
Correct.
Are those who have been vetted and want to be Americans.
Yes. To contribute to this society for its betterment, not only for now, but for the succeeding generations.
And there's a political narrative that is completely untrue. We and I've always said about Pike County, whether it's you or me, Pike County is a very welcoming community
if you do the right thing.
And if you accept Pike County is going to accept you.
Oh, it's one of the best places.
Where else would you want to be besides here? It's a great place.
It is a beautiful place. Yeah. It's fulfilled my dreams about participating in a nation that has welcomed me, and in return, I have to give my talents and my service. It cannot be a one-way street, Right. And the church I belong to. And the churches here, there's 41 churches here in Pike County. Did you know that?
I was going to guess 50, but thanks for giving me that
50.
number.
Well, it's a guess, so your guess is probably more accurate.
At one time when I was at the radio station, I did a study on it, and I think I came up with 54 churches. That's been 35 years ago.
Wow, yeah.
But
and we don't harass each other. We build up on each other. We extend our hands to each other, and we have many
denominations
that are harmonious and accepting, and we don't bicker and fight. We just love each other, I think.
Yeah. And that's what he wants us to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
Doctor, I think we're going to do this again sometime. I hope you come back.
Well, anytime you feel like you need to get a sharing of my thoughts, I'd be happy to be here.
Thank you.
It's been a good experience. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Harris Real Estate, Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, and Petersburg Car Wash. Please like the podcast and share with your friends so more people can hear about WFPC. You may find us on our website, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite media. Join us next Friday for another WFPC podcast, exploring the people, information, and the news right here in Pike County. See you next week.
Thanks for watching WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.